So the MIT Media Lab director Ito has quit in a scandal that's blowing up right now due to taking contributions from Epstein. What this media story, what the headlines in general aren't telling you, is the relationship of Bill Gates, who's right in the mix here. One thing that we've got to consider is, where is all of this money coming from? Epstein started out as a school teacher of maths and physics in a private school from 74 to 76. He was fired for poor performance, and he was a groundskeeper at one point. Then he got in with Bear Stearns, the CEO, Alan Greenberg, recruited him, and he rose up the ranks of Bear Stearns. So Bear Stearns, big stockbroking outfit, powerhouse back then in the 1980s. When I was a stockbroker in the 1990s at Joseph Charles, we had a relationship with Bear Stearns. They were our clearing house. So Epstein then learns the ropes through Bear Stearns, but then gets indoctrinated into the financial mafia. And if you go all the way back to the money laundering of the Clintons and the CIA and the cocaine coming into Mena, Arkansas, all the money that went into the banks there, you find that Epstein and his associates have links to all of this stuff that was going on, which has led me to conclude that I believe that Epstein's money was from drugs, from weapons, and from child sex trafficking and blackmail and other schemes. So, should MIT be taking that kind of money? And that's why we've seen the pressure come on now. Students have pressured Ito, and Ito not only took money for MIT, but he took money from Epstein for his own investments. So let's look at this far more closely, and also let's look at Bill Gates' role in this, because like I said, Gates is being left out of the headlines, but he is deeply in the mix. So if you look at what has been generally reported about Epstein and Bill Gates so far, Gates has remained quiet pretty much, but he has released some statements through his advisors. So it was reported that Gates was flying on the Lolita Express after Epstein had been released from prison the first time around. So he's already convicted of sex offences. Gates was knowingly flying on Lolita Express. These are reports. Reported that Epstein met with Gates more than once after serving time in jail for soliciting an underage prostitute to discuss ways to increase philanthropic spending. I love how all of these elites are philanthropists, charitable people with foundations, yet increasingly, as the Epstein case is showing, these charitable foundations, and we've known this for a long time with the Clintons, are just covers for money laundering to avoid taxes and spending money on themselves. Look at all the money that the Clintons spent, supposed to go to Haiti, and they were flying around the world and staying at 5-star hotels. So, back to Bill Gates. These alleged discussions happened 4 years after the millionaire money manager spent 13 months behind bars. Now it has been reported that flight records show Gates flew with Epstein from Teterboro Airport in New Jersey to Palm Beach on March 1st, 2013. The flight was said to have been on Epstein's luxury Boeing 727, dubbed the Lolita Express because it's claimed it was used as a mid-air sex den. The jet's detailed sale prospectus, and this is from the Sun Online now, describes the 29-passenger interior as tailored to enhance the experience during long-range travel. How enhanced an experience can you have? I mean, does that apply to what Prince Andrew was doing, orgying with minors? Is that a euphemism for orgying with minors? Tailored to enhance the experience. So, exactly what happened on the flight has remained a closely guarded secret, except for what is being divulged in the statements now coming out by the victims. If you want to hear Virginia's statements part 1 and part 2, they're in my Epstein playlist. Got a bunch of videos now on Epstein on my channel. Go in the description box below this video and you can click over and hear exactly what the victims, and specifically Virginia, is saying about how she was in an orgy with Prince Andrew, with minors, and all the other things that she experienced and witnessed. Recently resurfaced accounts detail wild orgies and padded floors purposefully designed for sex mid-flight. Wouldn't want to get their knees chafed now, would they? Padded bloody floors. Oh my goodness. It's also been alleged that Epstein used his plane to fly underage girls between his residence in New York, Palm Beach, New Mexico, and the Caribbean island of Little St. James. So, a representative for Bill Gates has not responded to requests for comments, beyond stating that he would never had any financial or charitable ties to Epstein. So this was an initial response, deny, 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 as we've seen with the Clintons, as we've seen with Dershowitz, as we've seen with Prince Andrew. But as we get deeper into this, we're going to trip Gates up on that statement. Epstein did once say he worked as a financial advisor to Bill Gates, but that claim was later shot down by Gates's representative. A spokesman for Gates reportedly stated there were no financial or charitable ties between the two men. Now that is an absolute lie, and we're going to get to that. After the meeting in New York 6 years ago, Gates flew on one of Epstein's planes to meet with his family in Palm Beach. He did not, they noted, fly on the so-called Lolita Express. A spokesman for Gates did not deny that he met with Epstein. So now the initial denials, now they're admitting, acknowledging a bit more. But she said that Epstein did not perform official financial advisory work for Gates. So they've admitted some, but they're denying others, and we're going to see that the latter claim there is untrue as we go along. Epstein never provided tax, estate, or services of any kind to Bill Gates, the representative said. People who knew Epstein said he would tell associates that he did spend time with Gates and that he acted as an informal advisor to him. He said he did, but I have no idea. Now this is Dershowitz, who was Epstein's lawyer on the Sweetheart Deal team, and Dershowitz, in Virginia's statements, she is detailing the sex that she had with Dershowitz. Dershowitz added, not in an official way, just that he was advising Gates. So, the breaking news now is about the MIT Media Lab and the director Ito, who has resigned under pressure, taking money from Epstein. So, what is the MIT Media Lab? It's an anti-disciplinary research lab at the Massachusetts Institute of Tech, growing out of MIT's Architecture Machine Group in the School of Architecture. Its research does not restrict to fixed academic disciplines, but draws from tech, media, science, art, and design. So this has been bubbling up now for a few weeks, but it's gone big this weekend because of an article in the New Yorker. So give full credit to the New Yorker for the research that they've done. And according to the New Yorker, the scandal over the donations, there's a deeper fundraising relationship with Epstein than the MIT Media Lab had previously acknowledged, and it attempted to conceal the extent of its contact with Epstein. Every single person who's getting called out in this case, denying, concealing, is the play of the day for those people. But as more and more testimonies and paperwork and legal documents are getting released, we can see how these guys are full of it. Dozens of pages of emails and docs reveal that, although Epstein was listed as disqualified in MIT's official donor database, the Media Lab continued to take gifts from him, consulted him about the use of the funds, and by marking his contributions as anonymous, avoided disclosing their full extent publicly and within the uni. Most notably, Epstein appeared to serve as an intermediary between the lab and other wealthy donors, including Gates, who denied Epstein was involved in his finances, soliciting millions of dollars in donations from individuals and organizations, not only including Gates, but also the investor Leon Black. According to records obtained by the New Yorker and accounts from current and former faculty and staff of the Media Lab, Epstein secured at least $7.5 million in donations for the lab, including $2 million from Gates and $5.5 million from Black. Gifts the emails describe as directed by Epstein or made at his behest. The effort to conceal the lab's contact with Epstein was so widely known to some staff in the office of the lab's director. Ito referred to Epstein as Voldemort, or he who must not be named. Voldemort. Don't be saying in the comments that I look like Voldemort. We've had that one before. The financial entanglement goes way beyond what the MIT have previously claimed. The uni has said it received $800,000 from Epstein's foundations in the course of 20 years and has apologized for accepting that amount. So now the Ito and the others involved at MIT are saying they're either going to give the money back or they're going to donate the money to causes for trafficking. They're absolving themselves, trying to, PR-wise, from the money. In a statement last month, MIT's president, L. Raphael Reif, wrote, "With hindsight, we recognize with shame and distress that we allowed MIT to contribute to the elevation of Epstein's reputation, which in turn served to distract from his horrifying acts. No apology can undo that." He pledged to donate the money to a charity to help victims of sexual abuse. On Wednesday, Ito disclosed that he had separately received $1.2 million from Epstein for investment funds under his control, in addition to $525,000 that he acknowledged Epstein had donated to the lab. The university is looking at the facts surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's gifts to the institution, said a spokesman. The documents and sources suggest there's more to the story, much more, as there always is with Epstein. The lab was aware of Epstein's history in 2008, after the first case where he'd already pled guilty, and of his disqualified status as a donor. Ito and other lab employees took numerous steps to keep Epstein's name from being associated with the donations he made or solicited. On Ito's calendar, which listed the names and meetings, Epstein was identified only by his initials. His contributions were recorded as anonymous. In September 2014, Ito wrote to Epstein soliciting more cash to fund a certain researcher, asking, "Can you re-up, top off with another 100K so we can extend his contract another year?" Epstein replied, "Yes." Forwarding the response to a member of staff, Ito wrote, make sure this gets accounted for as anonymous. Jeffrey Money needs to be anonymous. Thanks. So that's how they washed this money into the system. Money that I believe was made on the back of money laundering for child sex trafficking, drug sales, going back to the Contras and the Clintons. That's why Bill Clinton is trying to denounce this so rapidly and readily, and money from arms smuggling as well. That the planes that take the cocaine into America, the military planes, they fly the arms out. So, getting back to Bill Gates, this might be quite a long one actually, might have to be a two-part one. Epstein's apparent role in directing outside contributions was also elided. Media Lab received $2 million from Gates in October 2014. Ito wrote in an internal email, "This is a $2 million gift from Bill Gates, directed by Epstein. For gift recording purposes, we will not be mentioning Epstein's name as the impetus for this gift. A mandatory record of the gift filed with the uni stated only that Gates is making this gift at the recommendation of a friend of his who wishes to remain anonymous." So this is how Gates was trying to keep a disassociation from Epstein. Knowledge of Epstein's role was kept in a tight circle. In response to the university filing, Peter Cohen, is the MIT Media Lab's Director of Development and Strategy. So he was in the cover-up as well. In response to the university, Cohen wrote to colleagues, "I did not realize that this would be sent to dozens of people," adding that Epstein is not named but questions could be asked. "And I feel uncomfortable that this was distributed so widely." He wrote that future filings related to Epstein should be submitted only if there is a way to do it quietly. An agent for Gates wrote to the leadership of the Media Lab stating that Gates also wished to keep his name out of any public discussion of the donation. So I've got 3 more pages of research on this. There will be a part 2. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are enjoying the videos, please subscribe. Subscribe icon is in the bottom left hand corner of this video. Appreciate your likes and comments. I'm reading all of the comments. All my other stuff on YouTube, if you want to click on the links in the description box below this video to my popular true crime podcast, where I detail someone with a harrowing, hard-hitting true crime story every week, or my prison questions playlist, and there are also donation links if you want to support the production of these videos. All of my Epstein videos are pretty much demonetized right away. 1 or 2 have slipped through, but nearly all of them, bam, algorithm demonetizes them just like that. Alright, appreciate all of your love and support. Cheers from London.